Newcastle.
District.
Yeah. District 3 is Bishop Kelly, Claremore, Collinsville, East Central, Nathan Hale, Pryor, Sapulpa, and Tahlequah. East Central might run all of them over. Yeah, I forget y'all not from the town, so yeah, East Central might run that whole district over. Outside of maybe Collinsville and Tahlequah, Sapulpa, I'm not checking for nobody else in there. District 4 is Coweta, Durant, Edison, Glenpool, McAllister, Memorial, Shawnee, and Will Rogers, and that's probably the most competitive district on my side of the state.
Yeah, it's all. I think it's all going to be competitive because no one knows.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, as of right now, what everybody's going to like and who else is transferred that has not publicly announced that they're at their school, right? But Newcastle's district's going to be interesting. We know we have Owen Wright coming in with him and Coach Jesse Brown coming to talk about Newcastle basketball. The defending state champs. But Jamie, what do you think of that side of the state and what it looks like with those districts in 5A?
Man, I think it looks crazy. I think the competition has definitely risen. It's went up a notch, and I think it's going to be exciting to see. It's good to see it shake up a little bit, just now because those district games are the most important games. So when it comes down to it, those are must-wins.
Especially seeding for playoffs. Last year, Santa Fe and Santa Fe and Putnam City North were in the same district. And I don't think they are this year. Let's talk about 6A. Will?
All right, let's do it. 6A District 1 is Deer Creek, Edmond Santa Fe, Enid, Moore, Northwest Classen, Owasso, Piedmont, and Putnam City North. District 2 is Capitol Hill, Choctaw, Edmond North, Eisenhower, Mustang, Norman, Stillwater, and Yukon. District 3 is Bartlesville, Bigsby, Booker T. Booker T was just 5A last year, so Booker T we moving up to 6A. Jenks, Ponca City, Putnam City West, Sand Springs, and Union. District 4 is Broken Arrow, Edmond Memorial, Muskogee, Norman North, Putnam City, Southmore, U.S. Grant, and Westmore.
What district is Putnam City North in again?
So Putnam City North, that's District 1 with Deer Creek, Edmond Santa Fe, Enid,
so they back in
this.
That's I knew I heard that right. I wanted you to re-say that.
Yeah.
That's going to be, ooh.
Yeah, District 1 is already jumping. That's going to be something to see.
Yeah.
Santa Fe, Putnam City North.
Yeah. You got Owasso in there, too.
Yeah, I was just about to mention
I know.
Owasso.
Yeah.
And I'm not dissing or slanting Owasso. There's going to be a good team. Cam Nero's over there, transferred from he was at the private school up there. I forgot. They played Heritage Hall in Rejoice Christian. Yeah, okay. Wow. Shout out to Bobby. He helped me out there. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Owasso's gonna be good, but Santa Fe, PC North, Edmond North. Yeah.
PC North jumping right now.
They getting some of them transfers in
PC
too.
North jumping.
But let's be from sources today. I got a text a few hours ago that someone else might be transferring to PC North from Millwood's basketball.
Ooh, from the Wood?
No, I can't say from where.
Okay.
It's not public.
I thought you said from Millwood for a second.
Sources told me someone else might be transferring to Putnam City North for basketball.
Stay tuned, I guess. We'll have to find out.
And they heard from other sources. Sources are trusted sources.
Yeah,
they're concrete, trusted sources. But man, PC North gonna get investigated here soon. They got
for something.
I mean, they got a good basketball tradition going on. They've established themselves as a solid program, Santa Fe as well, but they lost a couple seniors, so that's always something to look out for. But PC North loading up like that again, they're definitely a threat.
They got one of the premier coaches in high school basketball. I'm going for boys and girls. So I mean, Coach Logan on the girls' side is good, and then Coach DJ Lemons is good too. Coach at Nike Top 100 camp for a couple years in a row, so he's tied in for real.
Yeah.
With connections, college coaches, you name it, prep schools. So he's one of the premier coaches in high school basketball here for Oklahoma. So that's a recruiting trait, right?
Yeah.
And then also you're a 6A. Yeah. Even though my personal opinion, I will say this publicly, I say it all the time, I think 4A and below are the better basketball classes because there's so much. It's more balanced competitively.
Yeah, for sure. I can. Yeah,
very
I can
fair
agree
to
with
say.
That. Yeah.
6A, we just talked about, District 1 and 6A.
Yeah.
You got clear runways talent-wise, from a full 12-man roster is Putnam City North and Edmond Santa Fe.
Right.
Yeah.
Even looking at District 3 with Booker T jumping in there, I kind of look at them as a favorite already. Of course, they have something to prove jumping up that class, but I think they got a great chance to continue doing what they already do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's that. Will, you got anything to add to that though? What are you looking for in basketball season? I know we're on football season, but but that's big news in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm excited for really Tulsa basketball because I'm out there, so I get to see everything firsthand, and it's a lot of chatter on who the best team in the city is, because you got the Booker T's, who's always good. You got East Central, who's trying to make a name for themselves. They got the Let's Make History thing going on. You got Cassia. Cassia just won state last year in 4A, dropped down to 3A. So, and they kept just about everybody. So who's to say they're not the best team? So it's a lot of talk going on, and I'm ready for Tournament of Champions because that's where a lot of the chatter is going. We're gonna see what's
I hear it's rumored to be MLK weekend, East Central and Cassia Hall. That's the rumor on the street.
That's what I heard.
That'll be a great game.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be at EC too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was told
no
Cassia
neutral
might.
site?
Yeah, it's either gonna be at EC or it's gonna be at a neutral site. Because that game's gonna be big. It's gonna be like Booker T and Millwood was last year.
They both got two good teams overall, but Memphis and Dallas versus Jock and Bubba D.
Yeah, but we gonna see.
We gonna for sure see.
Yeah.
And if that game happens, we will be in attendance.
We will be there, full force,
full team.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be there. But dang, I hope that MLK weekend.
Yeah.
I hope that does align.
Yeah.
Be a little free. Open up that schedule.
Yeah. Everybody should be off work. School's closed. Probably gonna be on a Saturday. Yeah.
That's gonna be a good game. What football game you looking to this year? Outside of Booker T and all that, I know Isaiah Butcher told us it was a Bigsby versus the Wausau Jinx.
Those big primetime matchups, because Bigsby versus Wausau or Jinx or Union or Jinx and Union. Those are the games that you just go see every year. Like, you gotta get there an hour early and hope you get a seat type.
So do they tailgate before those?
Yeah. Because those games are always good. I get Bigsby tends to be really, really good, but Owasso, Jinx, that's always a good game. Union, Owasso, those three teams, they always give good games just about every year. And throw BA in there too as well, because
I think BA is going to be. After talking to Bryson, he kind of got me excited to watch BA.
Yeah,
he got me sold, honestly.
I can't forget BA. They got something to say too.
How he sold us. He was like, we got the best DB trio ever to come out going. I was like, but Gentry and all them, Gentry and Micah and
I don't know that Booker T team.
They were nice too.
Yeah, it was a time where it was because Gentry, Micah, Tees, who else? Dax was over there at one point. It was a lot.
It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. But we're gonna thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Always.
And we'd love to hear you from next week too. The updates, what's going on in Tulsa and then in the state. Anything else you want to let everybody know before we move on?
Nah, I think I'm good. That's all I got.
Oklahoma City is Super Radio. I'm Miles Perry with Jamin Dawson. We have the director of operations and athletic director of Millwood Public Schools, Shannon Hayes, on next. Shout out to T-Town for my man Will. And we'll be back from after this break.
Injuries don't wait for business hours. Now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Oklahoma State, welcome back to Super Prep Radio. I'm Miles Perry. I'm here with Jamin Dawson at the Super Prep Command Center, And we have a special guest with us, Shannon Hayes, Director of Operations and Athletic Director for Millwood Public Schools. Coach Hayes, how are you?
Man, I'm great, Miles. Appreciate you.
I'm happy to have you.
Well, thank you, man. I'm glad to be here and to be able to just share some things and impart some knowledge with you.
Well, I'm always open to knowledge. You know, I'm a sponge. You know, I try to take things every day and apply them to different things. So I'm open to knowledge. I know Jamin is open to knowledge as well.
Something to learn every day.
Hey, absolutely. Before, don't get AI into it yet. You know, still got a human that's not a robot, can check the box. It's always good to have that.
Sir.
Now, Coach, how's your summer been?
Man, it's been been kind of crazy. You know, we've got a new building opening up. We've got new teachers, new coaches, a lot of new pieces that we're putting together, and so trying to get everything formulated and make it happen before August 17th. You know.
Can you tell us about the new building at Millwood?
Yeah, so we took back the building that Langston was in, and so Langston moved over to the old spot of Channel 9 on Kelly, and so we've now made it to be a pre-K through fourth grade building. And so it's more centered to that quality of instruction as well as an environment to help them to be conducive for learning. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful building. And so we finally got occupancy a few weeks ago, and now we're trying to get all the last little minute details, teachers moving in, getting their rooms together. It's a buzz, it's excitement, you know, and so we're looking forward to it. I started in that building years ago, and so it's kind of neat to see where it's at and how it's been transformed.
Now, Coach Hayes, you have a few titles, as many people probably do know or don't know. You're the Director of Operations and the Athletic Director at Millwood. Can you take us through what Director of Operations means for people that don't know?
So Director of Operations, basically I take care of all the technology. I manage that, manage facilities, work with security, child nutrition. I work with transportation. And then I also work with enrollment pieces and components and software. So a lot of garments, and then whatever else the superintendent doesn't want to do, I pretty much kind of manage it. And sometimes I run board meetings for her when she's out. So usually when she's out, I kind of step up and try to continue to make sure the district is running in a good direction while she's out.
And Coach, you've had a busy school year with new coaches, new football coaches, it's football season. What are you looking forward to under new head coach Mike Billingsley with the football team?
Well, I'm like I say, I mean, great coach, great young man, brought in a good staff. You know, I think what really makes me encouraged about who he is and what he's done is that they have a young lady who's a manager over at Southeast, and she texted me and said she wanted to come to Millwood. And I've been in education and athletics for 20-something years, and I've never known anybody that want to follow a coach that was a manager. And so I reached out to the OSSA. I said, well, you know, is this going to be a linked rule, you know? And they was like, well, no, I mean, she doesn't play sports. I mean, but you know, it was a joke, but he really was impressed, too, to see that. So that just shows that he's about kids. And that's really my concern is that, you know, the X's and O's and the wins, they'll come. We've always been having athletes, but it's what you developing the character of those young men and the young ladies who are managers. And so that's really what I look forward in a coach, is being more than just a coach, being a leader, a mentor, sometimes a father figure, and that's pretty much what I see in him and his staff that he's brought.
Coach, give us a little insight, or for the people that don't know, about your timeline and what you've done to get up to this point of what you do at Millwood.
Well, you know, I started out just basically as a business tech teacher, you know, and coaching middle school, then coaching high school, and then about 3 or 4 years after that, they took me out of the classroom. I became the district technology director because online testing started to evolve a lot, and so I was in part of implementing it. As a matter of fact, I was a key component with the State Department, where I helped to manage a lot of the districts and things like that, and to help them to deploy that. So did a lot of testing. I'm a nerd of tech. That's really what I am. But I do love that sometimes when I get a chance to get back in there and help the people who manage my technology. But and then when Superintendent Woods came, Dr. Woods came, I became the athletic director. And then about 3 or 4, maybe 5 years after that, they needed somebody that they could kind of leave in charge when she was out. And so they said that the board said, hey, I think Shannon would be a great person for that. I've been there as long. I mean, I've managed pretty much everything. And so I've got a CDL, so I do the transportation and so child nutrition and various things, because it all encompasses that even when you're dealing with athletics. I mean, the kids got to eat. There's facilities of where they got to practice, where they got to play, so their transportation and where they go. So all of those pretty much were things that I was already touching. So it just kind of made an easy transition for me to step in that position. And so that's pretty much where I've been maturing and developing and growing in a position that was never even in existence. So it's still a position I think that's evolving, and but it does take a lot of time, and it does have a lot of different things that you do, but you grow every day.
This is kind of a two-part question. Did you ever think you'd be basically second in command at Millwood, and did you ever think you would be athletic director going into education?
No, sir. When I came to Millwood, I was excited to be a middle school teacher. And then I got there and they was like, hey, we need you to coach. I said, what? I get to coach? I would have been content with that. Some days I even really do miss that. I mean, I never really got a chance to do a lot of that. I was only in classroom, like I say, for about 3 or 4 years. But I really enjoyed the kids. We had times where they come and sit in my class and we talk about various things in life. You know, being a minister, you know, I was a youth minister for many years at my congregations, and so I connected with kids and would love to kind of get to know them. And that's really what drives me to go every day is the kids. I mean, it really is. It's just being able to help to make a difference in their life, and I want them to enjoy their high school experience and say that, you know, man, if things wasn't at home good or whatever, I'm thankful that I at least had a place where I could call a place of peace and I could be able to enjoy and have fun.
And of course, it's a lot that entails what you do for the school. But what aspect do you enjoy the most about what you do?
You know what? Somebody just asked me that question a couple hours ago. It's funny that you asked me that. But, you know, really one of the things I like is that my job is never the same. There's always something different every day. I'm not a person that puts a peg in a hole and do the same thing over repetitive. I like to grow. I like to learn. I like to connect with people. And so I'm always willing to. So that's the excitement of it, just being able to come in and see something different and help to make a change. So that's probably the exciting part that I have about it.
Now, with Millwood and the community, how big is the East Side in support Millwood and the community aspect of the school district?
Well, you know, one of the things I could say when I took over as the AD and started being more in charge of things in second command, we one of the first bonds that we went out, I wanted to, if you ever drive down Martin Luther King, you see the big old white fence and it says home of the Millwood Falcons. Okay, that was a design that I wanted to put on there because I wanted us to have our own brand. You know, everybody feels that, oh, Millwood is part of Oklahoma City Public Schools. So a lot of times people would thought, well, whatever, if they donated to Oklahoma City, that they were basically, the money would funnel down to us. And so, you know, my goal was to show that, to get our own brand, our own identity. So I focused on a lot of our social media platforms, you know, hiring Craig and different things like that to allow people. And a lot of people at church were like, man, I drive by I didn't know that's where you guys were. I mean, a lot of people didn't even know that campus even existed and where we had been for so many years. So, you know, building an identity, developing who we are. And so by doing that, it's allowed a lot of people to recognize who we are. They follow us on all of our social media pages. They also, you know, I get people texting me, and I got private donors who will help me with various things, like when we win championships. I have donors who will know, hey, you need help with rings, and they will write me a check. I mean, so it's just, even in playoffs, I have, you know, even alumni who will reach out to me, you know, especially with the football or whatever, and say, hey, y'all plan on feeding the boys? You need some money, you know. Absolutely. I mean, so they'll help us with different things like that. So there's a lot of support with people that helps, and we really appreciate that.
And I also want to keep talking about the athletic department, Coach. You walked in earlier. We greeted you wearing your big old championship ring, which we're proud of here. But what's it like running such a successful athletic department? Like you guys don't just win in football and basketball. You win in other sports too. But Millwood is known for winning. How prideful does that make you feel as the head of the helm of that?
No, well, I'm blessed. I feel blessed, and I'm thankful that that the success has come along with that. You know, like I say, I feel that if you develop an environment where kids want to grow and want to have fun, because I really want athletics to help to strengthen academics. And so, you know, our goal is to teach a student, then make them an athlete. And so, and we set the bar even higher in terms of the academic eligibility. So we don't go off the basics of what the OSSA do. We set the bar higher, which is basically the NCAA standards. You know, a 2.3 overall, a 2.0 in your core classes. And so, and you can't have any Fs in your core classes, or you'll sit out for 6 weeks. So, I mean, so those are things to prepare them for life and prepare them for the next level if they decide to go to college, or if they're going out into a career, into the world. Everybody's not college bound, but I want to be able to make them be successful. And if you come to one of our games, I mean, it is a different environment. I mean, you know, that's why I brought in the fried chicken, you know, the pork chops, the various different things. So parents don't have to rush home and grab food. They can come to the game. All of our kids get in for free that go to Millwood. I mean, so I want them to be there and be supportive. Our band is off the chain. Our cheerleaders are on point. And so it's just all, and then the football, the basketball teams they represent. And when they step out on that court, I want them to look a certain way, and I want them to represent. And even when we pull up in the parking lot, a lot of people are like, oh, here come Millwood, even at track, what I mean? So I want them to know who we are, but I tell those kids, when you step off that bus, you represent Millwood, and I want you to take pride in that. And so that's kind of really to me, I think it's all about those and our coaches setting those type of, successful. And then in our facilities, we have a red and a blue line, and we put that in all of our gymnasiums. And if you walk in there, that red line, above those red line, you'll see all our banners. So we tell our kids, if you achieve for that red line, this is where your name be, this is where your class be. Well, you can walk back and show your kids years later, hey, I was a part of that championship. That's me over there. That's my name. I'm a Gatorade All-American player. So those are things, because kids right now are the football players. They walk into our multi-sport, and you got Gerald Jones' name as a Gatorade Player of the Year, and they're like, that's their coach. Coach, he was that? You know what I mean? A lot of times they think it, but they get to walk back into a house that he helped to build. So I mean, so it's all those little pieces kind of help to keep things, the success, and then it gravitates, and then people want to be a part of that. So it's great.
And students love being in those facilities like y'all have the multi-sport facility. Just tell us about like how that came about and how successful that's been to all your programs so far.
Well, how that came about was the superintendent called me because she had me interview for the athletic position. And I was on my way to Florida with my family, and she called me. She said, hey, you got the job. I said, okay. She says, you got to be in Tulsa in 2 weeks. I said, well, I just get back. I'll be back 2 weeks. So got to Tulsa and sat down, and they were talking about all these different classes. So there was a class over Title IX. And I got in that class, and I just kept thinking about how we were so out of compliance in terms of that with our girls' sports. Girls didn't have a place to change for our softball, our track, and various things. And so I was like, so I went back and I told the super, I was like, I'm not doing this job because I'm not going to jail. You know what I mean? So she said, what do we need to do? I said, well, we need to look at trying to provide facilities. Our facilities are outdated. We need to really do some improvement on it. And so she said, well, check around, look at some things. She looked around, I looked around, and then she came back and she said, well, what about an indoor? I said, oh, I'll definitely take an indoor. So I went to Kingfish and some other places and looked around. And Coach Franklin, I got him in the conversation. And we designed, Coach Franklin, I pretty much designed and helped to build it because that was during COVID. And it turned out very successful, and was just thankful that we were able to do, because it's very impressive for a school our size to have an indoor facility like that. And some days the kids get mad, and the coaches want to say, well, hey, pick that up, close that door, do that. Because, I mean, there's a lot of the taxpayers' money that went to make that happen. And then when donors walk in and they look at it, because a lot of the stuff in the facility was donated by people. And so they come in and they look at it. Wes Welker, his foundation has helped us with a lot of our equipment and things, even in our weight room. And so when they walk in, they're very impressed to continue to give to us when they see that we're taking care of the things that we ask for.
The facility is very impressive, and I think you guys have set a trend in Oklahoma City, because I think Westmore just got a big new indoor facility out there. Choctaw. Yeah. So I think Millwood set the standard for the cities around Oklahoma, schools around Oklahoma City to get indoor, and it's very impressive. If you haven't seen it, ladies and gentlemen, it's nice. It looks like most D1 facilities in college level. So and
that's something the college coaches will come and say, Coach, y'all got this. What am I going to offer your kids?
I mean, just preparing the kids for the next level in that sense too, because those are the perks you get when you go play at a high level program. But Coach, I also want to keep talking about the athletic department. In the last year, Coach Jackson, girls coach, she's come in to, put her imprint on the girls basketball team. What's some of the expectations you have for her going to year 2? I know it's exciting for girls basketball Millwood right now.
Yeah, it's exciting, and be honest, on both sides, 3A is stacked, boys and girls.
Yeah.
I mean, with Cassia Hall dropping back down, on the girls' side, you got Washington. They got a girl I think that's transferred in from
Jaylee.
Yeah, so she's nice, and so I mean, but like I say, I want the girls to have fun, have good experience, and with that, I think the wins come, and I know her passion. The thing about Coach Jackson, many of them don't realize that the year they had to go against Sequoia a few years, and so I remember watching the game. I think it was my first or second year in Millwood, and I went to Midwest City to watch the game, and that's when Angel Goodrich came on the scene. And I think that the Millwood was the team to win it that year, and we got upset by them that first round, and then she came back as a coach, and we won a couple of championships and some runner-ups, and then she stepped out and went to Mustang, and she's come back, and I think she has a lot more that she's been able to be exposed and it can be experienced, and has helped us, and has come in really in this past year, really has done a really great job, and I'm just excited for what she's going to do in year 2.
And the new hire, Coach Henry, one of the Oklahoma greats, right, in basketball, played in the NBA and played at Putnam City Original. How do you feel about that hire?
Man, another great hire. Coach Henry is a young man that I love his passion for kids, and that's really what it's about. Even in the interview, he didn't much talk about the wins and the losses. He just talked about the young men and being able to make a difference and having to take care of them in various different things, and just that was his passion, and that's what really kind of sold us on him. Is that having that type of, because it ain't about the X's and O's. I want to make sure these young men are developed, learn to be respectful, and that's kind of the excitement that really has. And then you go in and you hear his practices, you hear his coaches, his dad as well, and so it's a great family affair. His daughter is running around, and so it brought me back to my days when I had my kids there and they were young, and assistant coaches holding one and another one, and watching doing homework over there. So it's really cool. And even with Billingsley, his 3 boys always in the indoor, throwing footballs, hanging out all day long. So I enjoy when your family can experience it and be a part of it, and you're not having to they be one place and you're another place. So that's always a blessing.
And with Coach Franklin being there so long, what impressed you about Coach Billingsley in the hiring process?
Well, like I say, Coach Billingsley, he usually I'm a type of person, I'm always interviewing. So when I go to games, I look at coaches. I look at coaches. I look at how they conduct themselves on the court, how they address officials, how they treat their kids, because when you're successful, you do get, phone calls. Your coaches are going to get opportunities, just like, we've had in the last 3 to 4 years. When Michael Jeffries was here, I had 3 of my assistants that are now at 6A programs. So you got Donnie, who's at, I think, Southmore Girls. You got Chevis, who's now at Norman Job. And they never even were a head coach. So it just shows that people are seeing the level of coaching and discipline that we've had, and so that speaks to our head coaches as well. And so with that, I'm always keep my head on the swivel, because I don't know when the next one may happen. I don't want them to leave, and so but if it happens, I'm excited for them. I'm praying for them, that they do well, and when they do successful, that makes me proud, because guess what? I'm part of that program. And I tease some of the ADs. I say, "You're welcome."
No, hey, it's a tree.
It's a tree.
It's a tree. It's a coaching tree. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we talk about it a lot here. off air, on air, just not Millwood, just in general in the state of high school sports in Oklahoma. There's been a lot of coaching changes this year, from football, basketball, same with kids transferring schools all over the state, right? I feel like it's like Putnam City North, we were talking about earlier. They got, 3-4 players in one day? I mean, they were there, but they announced it in one day. So that's, like you said, keep your head on swivel, right? That's just adjusting to the new times. As, Coach Brett Boger here, Charles said, he said, you're going to get with it or you're going to get lost. So
Yeah. And that's what your program has to be about. I mean, it's, you can't keep saying no, fighting it. I mean, and that was kind of, even with the shot clock. I mean, that's something that I've been trying to push for the last 4 or 5 years, and we finally got it. And last year we did it and tested it out in a few of our games to kind of get our coaches comfortable to it. And it's really not a big thing, But everybody's like, oh, changes the game, oh, this and that. But I had Mark Dagnall. I used to be the AD. I was the president of the state of Oklahoma's AD Association, and I was that for about 3 years. I'm now the past president. But I had Mark Dagnall come to one of our conferences, and we were in there, and I asked him that question. I said, Mark, what do you think about the shot clock? And he said, well, in the States, you guys are behind. He said, that's why a lot of your international players are advancing and doing a lot better now, is because they have the shot clock. And they've been doing it for years. And so a lot of your kids don't get introduced to it till they're in college, and they're not comfortable with it, and they can't always adjust to it, and sometimes they get lost in the rain. He said, but you've got kids in high school that are overseas in Spain and various places, and that's one of the reasons why. And so, I was talking to one of the people from the association. I said, what did you think about Mark's oh, that's just one person's opinion. I said, okay, that's cool. But here we are now. We're pretty much, we should have been a long time. And that's kind of sometimes Oklahoma. We just seem like we always last and stuff. Yeah. And I mean, but if we want our kids to have a chance to be successful and to have opportunities, we have to start them at a young age. And that's the one secret about Millwood, is that we don't start kids practicing or organized sports as a seventh grader. They start literally in second, third grade. We have those, and we start them and we work them in our classes, PE classes. We have Optimist leagues and things like that, to where we can be able to grow them so they have the fundamentals and help them with their skills.
And I think Mark Dagnall's that's a big opinion. You said he just said that's one person. That's the NBA head coach. It has more insight than a lot of us on basketball in general. And to piggyback off what you're saying, a lot of Oklahoma kids don't get exposed to that unless you play on the Nike circuit. Get lucky enough to play on the Nike circuits, the Adidas circuits, because they have a shot clock on those leagues. And I think it's gonna, but also I think it's easy to shoot. It's not hard. I'm not gonna say it's easy or hard, but you can shoot the ball in 25 seconds. Yeah. If you're well, I mean, also that's coaching too. If you can coach them in that time frame, because I think the smaller schools don't like it because they can't run their full sets. That's what we were talking about with some basketball coaches.
They just can't play stall ball. Yeah. That's probably what it is. They just can't play stall ball. And the average is 19.5 seconds is the average of a offensive play. It's 19.5 seconds.
So you got about like 6-7 seconds left, though.
No, it's 35-second clock.
Oh,
it's a 35-second clock.
I'm thinking NBA.
Yeah, I kind of was in my head too. I was thinking the same thing.
And that's what I've been trying to coach people. Say, look, this is not an NBA. And then if it hits the rim, it doesn't go to 14. It goes back to 35.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
So you can literally have 35 seconds and then turn around, get the rebound, and it starts back at 35 again.
Yeah, because when I played in the state tournament, no diss to Kingfisher. We played them 3 years in a row, and when they would get up, they would literally stand there and just make you come. You have to go get a count, because when they were up by even 6-9, it wouldn't even be up by double digits, by 6 points. 2 minutes up, we're gonna stare in this. And that does stop. So is it just 4A and above, or is it 3A?
It's 3A and above.
Okay, that's okay. That's what I thought.
I coached in a game with Coach Spears, and at halftime the score was 6-10, because they literally, when they got up, we would get the tip, and if we didn't score and then they came down and they scored, they stalled. They would stall. And so it was 6-10 at halftime of the game. and we ended up eventually winning. I think it was like 18-12. But what they would do is they would try to get us in foul trouble, and then they would good on their free throws. I mean, so their concept was to try to take us out of our game, and so that's when we started the full court press and putting the pressure on them full court. You don't do half court, because you do half court, you're playing in their game, so you do full court press, and you allow them to be able to have pressure on the game. So by the time they try to get their setup, they're tired, they're exhausted, we've worn them out, they're going to make mistakes. So that's pretty much
start coughing up the ball.
We see that a lot watching Millwood basketball. The other team is coughing it up.
Especially this past year's team, they were up and down and like the press. Now, did the athletic directors all get to vote on the time limit on the shot clock, or was it a?
Yes. So each school has a voting delegate that gets to vote on it, and so we always have conversations with our coaches as well to talk about it. And so I knew it was coming down the pipeline. My coach, I think at the time we started having the conversations, was Mike Jeffries. And I was saying, Mike, man, this is something that we really need to kind of look at. And so he said, well, I'm cool with it. So it was really a lot of the smaller schools, and then a lot of schools who weren't educated. But like the 5A, 6As, they were all gung-ho for it. It was just trying to get the lower ones. So that's why we changed it to where it didn't include everybody. So we went from, based off of the evaluations we got, surveys, we saw that 3 and up were comfortable with it, but 2 and A were down. So we said, well, guess what? We're going to vote by class. So we, the OIAAA, so the athletic administrators board is the one that makes decisions before it goes to the actual OSSA board. So we sit down as a committee, and we're able to kind of evaluate and look at things. And so when the OSSA brought it to us, they brought it by each individual class. So we voted for the 6A, and unanimously was a vote. Same thing. And then we got down to the 2A, and everybody said no, so that's fine. So we stuck with the 3A and up. And so we're pretty much going with that. So, and I think eventually the rest of them will eventually buy into it. But I think it's just one of those things when you don't know. It's the fear of unknown,
No, and I agree with that. Now on the 35 seconds, was that was all one vote, or was it multiple votes? Like, okay, how much time do we all want?
That's
because 35 seconds is kind of now that you put it in perspective, they could shoot a shot, get a rebound, and have a whole another 35 seconds. That's a little over a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's stall ball, but realistically, you could.
Yeah, it could be stall ball, absolutely. So it's actually the NFHS, National Federation for High School. They actually are the one that sets the rules. So this is basically the rule across the entire United States. So we're part of that organization where the OSSA is. So we are governed by their rules. So that's how it was set. So we didn't get a vote.
I learned something. Knowledge. I learned something today. There we go. Right. I didn't know that. I just thought they were over streaming. See, I didn't even know we were going off their rules. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. So, because 35 seconds. Now that I can't stop thinking about, because that is long. Because I'm so used to 25. I think it's college 30, or is it 25?
It might. I was going to say it might be 30.
It might be. Yeah. It might be 30. Yeah.
Okay. So we're not. It's you going steps.
Okay. And that's maybe where they got it. 35. Maybe they said, well, if college is 30, maybe let's just do 5 more, to hopefully make people more comfortable about doing it. At least just get them in there, because now you can look up at the shot clock. So now if you got 60 seconds left, you're not going to be able to hold the ball for 60 seconds. You're going to have to shoot the ball. You know, so I don't have to foul you if I'm down by 2 points, because I know I'm going to get another possession.
Now we're teaching boxing out then.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So rebound is more important in that situation than anything.
Yep.
Because if you do run to a team that likes stall ball and they get the rebound, then you're in trouble there. So, okay. I'm looking forward. I was happy when that rule was passed, because I wish we had it when I was in high school, because I bet you a lot of people wish they had it when they were in high school, especially, or playing coaching during that time.
But a lot of people wish we didn't either.
Always two sides of the coin.
There's a few people that kept fighting it. They kept fighting it even after we had unanimously voted to have it at our level of the ADs. It got to the board, and that day, one of the key people that we had communicated with that they were unanimous wanting to vote was out. And so it went to a tied vote, and the president at that time decided to go against it. And so we had to wait another couple of years to go. So, yeah.
And I think that's interesting. The reason why I say this, you guys, is because, you're a lot of coaches about, I'm trying to get my kids ready for the next level.
Yeah.
But that's because at college they have a shot clock, So I'm like, how you want to prepare them, but you won't let something that really will help them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I always think that's an interesting argument. Well, I don't want it, but I want to prepare my kids and get them exposure. And so, but no, Coach, I'm going to change the topic up. You guys moved to 2A2 in football. How is that? Does that change anything with the program and the mindset? Because you guys, were 2-1 forever, and we're very dominant in that class. And how does that approach change, or doesn't change anything for Millwood Falcons football?
Doesn't change. Same plan, same purpose. Whoever's in our district and whoever's in our line is who we have now. There's some people not happy with that, but really and truly, we're wherever we are, and that's what, like I say, that's ADM. That basically has nothing to do with voting of that. It's just the number of students that you have in your school, and so you have a lot more schools are having now football. So now you've got 60 something, which is another thing. I fought for that. Because when you have 64 teams and they're small schools, they have to go 15 weeks of football. And then you got a 6A school who kids only play one side of the ball, and they only going like 12, 13 weeks with a Thanksgiving break. So our kids who have to go both sides of the ball, they get beat up real bad. By the time they get to the next level, their bodies are all broke down because they were having to work so hard just to win a championship at the high school level. So what this does is, by having it divided, you now only have to play 14 versus 15 games. So you have to really hopefully not get into real deep, cold seasons, and be able to get them where they got a little break and they're not hurting themselves. And now you've got a better opportunity for more kids to have a chance to make it to the playoffs and possibly to a state championship.
And we just talked about many reasons why the games have progressed and rule changes, but are there any other changes or challenges that you're presented with in these different sports?
NIL is not it's kind of a little challenge. I think they're kind of cleaning it up a little bit more because they were adding more on our plate in terms of what we needed to kind of investigate and try to do. And I'm like, I'm an athletic director. I'm not an agent. We already, when kids transfer or kids come in the district and people call on a kid and you got to go to the home and check stuff. I got to read whether or not this is a divorce decree or not. I'm like, man, I'm not a lawyer. I'm an athletic director. So with NIL deals, there's so many different things that we had to investigate. We have to check. And I'm like, why is that a part of what should be us? And so I'm trying to clean a lot of that up to where, we've been blessed. We only had one of those experiences in the last few years, but it not like some of the other schools that maybe have a few more, but they're really starting to now kind of back away and allow it not to be so strenuous to where you can be. But parents need to know what those NIL deals and how that affects your financial aid, how that affects your taxes and things like that. Because if a kid gets an NIL deal and then you go to apply for financial aid, it's going to cut into your financial aid. So it's those are things that they need to kind of know. So so you just look at it from a college level. It's a whole different ball game than when you're dealing with it here on this level.
Some knowledge. Like he said, we're gonna learn. I'm learning, and I think it's really cool that you even talked about NIL, because I think a lot of people or coaches or other people in high school athletics, they know it's there, but they don't like to touch it hands on, even though it's very prominent. Because I talk about all the time with certain coaches, like, Bixby has an NIL firm. They'll say stuff like, like at certain schools or whatever. Mm-hmm. And but I didn't think of that aspect from a family financial aid aspect and how it plays a part in that. But Coach Hayes, did you ever think it would trickle down to high school, I know A.D. McCurdy of Toast School said anything higher ed is always probably going to somewhat trickle down the high school level. So did you ever see this happening?
No, no. But I do like that the kids are going to get paid for their name, image, and likeness in college. I think it's a big, huge money market thing. This level, it with the way that the NCAA and certain rules and stuff like that, I think they're having to go back to adjust it to how they're making it, because it's still a challenge to our kids. Like, there's a young lady I know that she got an NI deal, but it's with softball bats. So basically they provide her with softball bats so that it's not like an income that she's having. So they make sure that she has and uses their softball bats and things like that. So there's some ways that even some of the companies, as well as even the coaches and us ADs, are trying to get to where a child is not punished, because you come from a family that needs every bit of help to get to the next level, and if they don't get a full ride, a lot of times when people say a full ride, it ain't a full ride. It means, I already know you're going to get assistance from the state, and I know that you're going to get this much on your Pell Grant. So all I really got to do is give you room and board. So basically, yeah, it looks like a full ride, but most of it is because of your income status, and that's what allows them to be able, well, then I can take that other half of that scholarship and go give it to you, and then give you the same thing. Now I got two for the price of one.
What do we think about all that?
I mean, I didn't learn how the scholarships worked really until my brother went to college, because he went to NEO, played football. And even when I had opportunities to play at the next level, I didn't really understand those dynamics of what they're actually offering you. But, I mean, it's all new. It's all things that are necessary to know, and it's good to know before you get right to that step, because you'll get there and not know a lot of things, and that might alter your decision and your future in playing. So that's good that you're making that all apparent to these parents and these students.
No, I think it's crazy, because I remember when they approved the college players getting paid, but I never thought, like, we interviewed Nash Henry from the starting quarterback for Norman North. He was here with us a few weeks ago, and he did a whole advertisement for his campaign with some protein shake company he represents.
Sure did.
And I was like, "Is that an ad?" And he goes, "Yeah, it was." And he smiled. I was like, "Well, I'm happy." I said, "Well, I'm helping you get some compensation, And so I think it's crazy, because Brian James had a Nike deal. I mean, it's LeBron's son, but in high school.
And Gabe Osborne, that Mustang, he's got a Nike deal too. He went to that Nike camp, and he's one of the 11 NIL players they selected.
Yeah. So it's a whole new ball game. You got kids pulling up to the school in a brand new car and all that in high school, because they kept, some kids are committing. I know Samaj at Jenks, he's committed to Oregon, play football, defensive back, and I was told after he committed, they got him a new Cadillac, and he's driving it to school right now. And I saw the picture of it the other day on his Instagram. So I mean, so NIL is very real and live in high school sport. In sports, I guess if you sign that letter of intent, you start getting all those things. But Coach, I also want to talk about, outside of sports and school, you're also a pastor at Forest Park Church of Christ. How'd you get into and being a pastor and being in touch with the Lord?
Well, I grew up in the church. My father was a minister. My brother was a youth minister as well. And so, and then when I got up, I became youth minister at Northeast Church of Christ for a while, and then I was out. And so but I never wanted to be a minister. I didn't mind, every now and then filling in or something like that. I love just studying the Word and getting exposed in that. And then about 3 years ago, a couple from the congregation was calling me because that minister had resigned, and so they just asked me to kind of come and, hey, would you mind stepping in? And I had done that before. For some reason, I had a few other congregations. I have gone in and been like an interim minister and just kind of helped to kind of get them in a good position so that when they do hire a minister, they'll be ready to receive, because a lot of times not only are the church interviewing a minister, but a minister is interviewing in them. And so what do they have to offer them or their family or whatever, and things like that. So that was my plan with this church. It was that I was just going to go in, be an interim for about 6 months or whatever. They had already started a process of interviewing, but I told them, I said, well, what do y'all have to offer? I started talking things like that. I said, well, let's work on our ministries. Let's help people to understand how we can get out in the community, start working on those things, build relationships. And so, matter of fact, I did the interviewing when they had the candidates. They had me interview them on stage. And so after they interviewed them, they came back and was like, well, we're not really comfortable or not sure if this is who we want. I said, well, then don't choose them yet. I'll just stay on for a while, and then when you guys find somebody, then they can come in. So they announced the following Sunday to the church, well, we didn't choose either candidate, and Brother Hayes has decided that he would stay on a little longer. Well, they started clapping. And I was like, why are these people clapping? You know what I mean? So I asked one of the lead brothers, I said, well, what was that about? He says, well, they really wondering why we even having this conversation. You're here. Why you just don't take the position? And I said, well, I don't know if I am really the man for the job. And my wife asked me a question, it's probably about 15, 20 years ago. She asked me, why do you want to preach? And I couldn't answer that question because I knew the answer. I just didn't want to tell her that I think I just really wanted to show off or whatever and maybe make a little extra money. My heart wasn't in the right place for it. And so I think I never answered that question. So coming to this congregation, and it's a great congregation, loving people, and my wife, they embraced my wife as well, because she would only come like twice a month because we were still members at Memorial Road. Well, then she said, well, it is a nice congregation. So one Sunday we were going home, and after having a conversation with one of the lead brothers, Paul Victorian, I said, well, I'll talk to my wife. So I leaned to my wife in the car. I said, babe, you remember that question you asked me many years ago? Why do I want to preach? She said, yeah. I said, I know that answer now. She says, I can tell. She says, I can tell. She says, and I can tell you have the right answer. That's what from the Lord, And so I said, I'd like to do this, but I got to have your blessing. If you don't want to do this, then I'm not going to do this. And I'm not going to pin it on you either, but I got to have your support. I asked my leadership at my congregation I was coming from, I got to have your support. And everybody just stepped up and were like, yes, absolutely. You're the man for the job. You can do this, and that, and everything. And so I stepped in that position. And when I tell you people have helped and blessed so many different ways, I didn't realize we was going to be doing a campaign to remodel our church within 5 months of me being the minister. Rooms were caved in. We had a lot of problems with rodents coming in. It was an older building, and so it was nervous. But when we went out, the Lord blessed us from many different ways. I had congregations come in and donate money to help us. So personal friends. I still have a few friends now that sends a check to the church every single month and have never stepped foot in that church. But that made me feel like, okay, Lord, I guess this is an affirmation that this is where I need to be. You know how sometimes you got to have something to tell you, okay, this is my confirmation, I need to do it. You know what I mean? Okay, all right, I see you. And so, been having fun with it. It's been a blessing. I just enjoy spending time with my church folk, and we just we have fun on Sundays and fun on every other day, and we're involved in the community. We're real heavy in Spencer schools. We've adopted all 4 of those schools. We've actually taken on their PTA organization, and so we're trying to help our young people in that area. I go and speak at the school, Star Spencer, twice a month, and we call it Bobcat Chat. So I bring in pizza, and we sit around and we just talk about either their faith, their family, or their future, And so this past year was kind of rough. They had a lot of deaths and things, but I remember one kid, I passed out a piece of paper. I said, I want you to write your favorite scripture on that paper. And when I got him back, one of them, I read his scripture, and I said, man, why was that so important? He says, because that's a scripture I read every morning to ask God to keep the devil out of my house. And I was like, whew. I said, really? He said, yeah. He says, I can't, because I can't manage my day when the devil and the demons continue to be in my house. And so, things like that just as another affirmation. Okay, this is what you should be doing. This is a part of ministry, because our goal is to love God, love others, and make a difference in this world. So it's not about self, it's about others. And I believe that's why the Lord put us on this earth. It's not about what we do, it's what we do for others. And so I'm trying to make a place in heaven for me. You know what I mean? So I guess that's my spiel, and probably it's more than what you asked for, but sorry, I'm a preacher, I talk a lot.
That was great, though. I enjoyed. That was a great story. I enjoyed it. And you are most definitely making your place in heaven. I want to ask you this. I know you said Bobcat chats. Are you guys going to have Falcon chats at the Wood?
Yeah, Les Thomas, they do have that as well. They do something for them. So I don't want to interview my stuff at the school, so I try to keep that separate.
I got you.
But if kids ask for something, or kids come in my office and say, would you pray for me, or whatever, I do those for that. But I don't want to, because of my leadership, to feel like I'm trying to force something on my kids. So I leave that alone. But if there is something, I always go talk to somebody else, and they'll go in and manage it. So.
And of course, your work with the ministry and your work with the school, you know how important community support is. So how important is it to serve the community that serves you?
It's really important. We love doing it. Like I say, we've talked about, Coach Franklin started a turkey drive, or every year the football players and even some of the basketball will get together and they pass out turkeys and dinners and stuff to families, and that's grown every year. And so I'm hoping we can continue to do that, even though Coach Franklin is not here. But we would go down to Jesus' house and do some things like that, and so do a toy drive, so opportunities like that. And then anytime the community needs assistance or help, we try to assist in any way, or providing opportunities for them to utilize our facilities, or help in any various ways that we can, because we've even hosted funerals at our place, just to kind of make a connection and know that we're here and we want to do what we can.
Well, Coach, this is gonna be my last question for you. What your legacy at Millwood? What do you want people to remember about you at Millwood when it's all said and done? And in Oklahoma sports, because it sounds like you're very involved in the higher ranks of Oklahoma sports, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff no one knows about that you've been telling us about today.
Well, I'm not cared to be remembered. I guess my thing is, you will see the fruits of my labor, and so really and truly, I don't think you will see it. I guess is more than things. So if people walk on the Millwood campus, you don't need to put a shrine up and say my name. You ought to be able to see, like a former player caught me in the store the other day, and he was like, Coach Hayes, man, you're doing a great job. He says, man, you've helped to change, and you've brought our environment and everything to another level. Man, just continue to keep doing what you're doing. So I'm going to keep doing what he said I need to keep doing. And then at the end of the day, when it's my turn, I'll hand the keys to somebody else and pray that they can continue to build on that. So I hope I leave it better than I find it. So I guess if anybody was going to remember, is that I hope that I leave it, even in the ministry. If one day the Lord says, okay, it's my turn to step down, I want to leave this congregation of his better than the way I found it.
Well, Coach, that was well said. And I want to thank you for coming on Super Radio. Jamin, you got anything else before we thank Coach and say bye?
Yeah, first of all, we appreciate your time, appreciate your answers. We've definitely learned quite a few things about yourself and just the things that you do, and just really more about high school athletics. But just for people that aren't familiar, what should people know about Millwood Athletics, and what does the future hold for Millwood Athletics?
Millwood Athletics, we are looking at doing some amazing things. Also, even some more renovations. So coming in hopefully prayerful in the plans in the next few years. So we are just excited about expanding even our sports. and doing some things like that. So some sports that people don't think Millwood have, we're developing those. So I'm hoping to bring like boys soccer. That's one that we want to try to continue to look at and bring. And so be able to have soccer games on campus, track. We want to start having track and field events, more hosting events and things like that. So we're looking at doing some major renovations there, and just because gate is kind of how we develop. That's kind of how we're able to survive a lot of times in donations. So that's pretty much our two frames of revenue. So we want to make it great for an event, but if we don't, we want to be able to have the facilities to be able to do fundraisers, and that's why I created the GMAC. So, I created the Greater Metro Athletic Conference years ago, and to where we could be able to host events. We host end-of-season tournaments. We host for each, like volleyball. We do basketball. We'll do one for football and things like that. And we rotate it among the schools, and so every school get a chance to be able to host it. And then we pay entry fee, and then they get to keep all the gate and take care of everything themselves, So it gives them a chance to help to develop their programs. And that's been a big, huge help for us because we never really got a chance to do that when we were part of the All-City Conference. So that's been a great help with helping us financially to be able to rotate out our uniforms. So like we have an agreement with Nike with our high school sports. And so every 4 years we get new uniforms. The contract's primarily with our basketball and our football, but we also transition it into our other sports as well to try to keep that same rotation and help them as well. So it's been able to be a blessing to have that, so we can be able to keep to where the kids don't have to smell somebody's sweat every single year. They get 1 year where it's a brand new uniform, and maybe their freshman year or maybe their senior year, but 1 year out of that 4 years, it's going to be a brand new uniform that they get to present.
And I think that's cool. I love those black jerseys for the basketball team. Those are nice. Those are all black. Those are nice. I remember they broke those out against Booker T last year. I was like, I remember I asked Coach, I was like, where'd y'all get those? He goes, we just got them. I said, well, I love them. So, Coach, that's cool. I think that's cool that I never learned something new. 4 year deal, 4 years you get a new jersey with Nike. I didn't know that, and I think that's great. And I mean, look, kids love wearing that check. So
it's just something about it, man.
Yeah.
Feel better, play better.
Yeah.
It all coincides.
Yeah.
I gotta ask this: would the football team get an alternate jersey like the basketball team?
They already have one.
Is it?
It's gray.
Yeah,
it's
the gray.
It's gray.
Okay.
It's the gray.
Okay.
So we're next year is when we're looking at their year to do another one. So we'll look and determine what's the alternate color.
Would you be okay with a red jersey?
I would not be okay. My boss wouldn't be okay with a red.
I think it would be. I don't think it would look bad. But it's one of the primary colors of the Falcons.
No, it's not. It's an accent.
It's an accent. Okay.
It's an accent.
Okay. I got
blue and white. Royal blue and white is our two main colors, and the lightning bolt is the only thing that's red.
Gosh. I think. Yeah. Okay. I'm a red guy. That's why I said that. You're booming sooner, baby. I had this.
Yeah. I mean, it's just something about the color red, but it's something about the color blue, too. Red just catches the attention better than any other, so.
Yeah.
No, it does. Red does catch your attention. But, no, Coach, I appreciate you for coming on. I'm looking forward to Soul Bowl coming up and football season. And I'm always looking forward to basketball season. And, we love covering your guys' games. It's fun.
Man, well, thank you guys, man. You all have helped to build this brand, and so we appreciate your coverage, and you guys follow us all across the state of Oklahoma and in small gyms when you ain't got much anything. Y'all up there, y'all making it happen. So, man, just thank you so much for you all and continue to the efforts. I like this. I like you guys, and I hope this continues to do and grow in what you guys are doing.
Well, we appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
And you're helping us with that right now, coming to talk to us. So and we appreciate you supporting us as well. It's mutual. So
I'll be checking y'all out. Scrimmage tomorrow. Is that correct?
Scrimmage tomorrow. Blue and gray game in-house scrimmage. So they did a mock draft and split the teams up, blue and gray, and so and then we've got the cheerleaders also, blue and gray. So so it's going to be inner squads against each other. So
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like the the drafting part. I think that's cool. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So they're excited about it. So I'm looking forward to it tomorrow too. So that's kind of Billingsley's kind of like tradition that he wanted to kind of bring to Millwood. And so I said, yeah, man, that's what you want to do, because I can't stay up to no 2 o'clock in the morning, no Midnight Madness.
Man,
Coach said no more Midnight Madness. I'm trying to go to sleep.
I be tired myself. I want to see it, but fighting that sleep.
No, I think a lot of teams still do Midnight Madness. So I mean, I've never been to a minute that's late. Like I said, that's too late.
But it's a good way, like Coach Billingsley's idea. It's just to bring more excitement to it, the anticipation, let it build, so the kids are invested into it too. So I think both of them are good ideas.
No, I do too. I think the drafting part makes the kids more in tune, because they're like, I want you on my team. It's like basketball, like pickup. So I mean,
they actually had a draft. They had a mock draft. So and then they had to pick numbers, and so whoever got the number 1 pick, they would pick the overall number 1 pick, but the second person got the next 2 picks, and then it went back and forth from there, And so it was they had a draft board and everything. So they
that sounds exciting.
All the coaches. So it was just strictly coaches. So
okay, I was about to ask. Yeah,
so the kids don't know who was the overall number 1 draft pick. They don't know. They just know whose team they on. That's it. That's it. So yeah, but it was cool. It was cool. They were excited about it, and so yeah, man. I'm thinking, man, things are gonna be great. I'm walking alongside a coach this year because it's his first year. So trying to help him make sure he has everything he needs and understands, and kind of making sure things go the way he needs to. So just looking forward to that. So.
Oh yeah, that's cool. The little draft room, like war room before NFL draft. That's cool.
Yeah, because after that, it's all together. It's all one team and all going towards that common goal. So
that's it.
No, but Coach, thank you for coming on, and
man,
looking forward to the sports season. It's sports season. I know everybody's ready for some things to get back on TV. So I mean, so I'm looking forward to it, and I know he is too. And
you tired of your reruns, huh?
I mean, I'm not tired.
It's just not doing enough. You should have seen how excited I was to turn on the highlights for the Hall of Fame game last week. It's nothing. I'm a football guy, so it's nothing like it when August turns into September and it's time to lace them up.
Yeah.
And I'm a baseball fan. I like watching baseball, but I want some, more stuff on TV. The World Cup kind of held us over a little bit. Mm-hmm. Because after we lost in the Western Conference Final, I was kind of just tuned out of basketball. Yeah. So I was.
That hurt me, man. Yeah. Coming off that championship and being right there again, that hurt me, dog.
No, but we'll win it this year. So no, I'm not tired of reruns. I'm just ready for some live action sports. Preferably college football. But
all right. Well, I'm gonna ask y'all a question.
Okay.
Who's your top 2 teams in college football?
Ooh.
Can we get OU out the way? Is there a little bias there, or are you gonna say OU too?
I wasn't gonna put. I was
okay.
Let's not. I was gonna leave my bias out the window.
That's cool. I'll do it too.
Yeah, I was gonna leave my bias out the window. Dang. I put Indiana at number 1. The reigning champs. Then I feel like I don't want to say Texas because I never know what they're really gonna look like after the week 1 and 2, and I don't know how Ohio State's gonna look like after, because they played Texas. What was it, week 2?
Week 2. Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm gonna go with Miami. I like Miami.
Okay.
I kind of like Miami last year too, and of course, it's not hard to recruit at Miami. You don't have to really recruit out of Florida, and you can still be very successful. So the platform they've built, and they can just bring in a new quarterback every year with transfer portal rules. They continue to get good quarterbacks, Cam Ward, Carson Beck, and now you got Mensa from Duke. So I think they'll be really good.
They got Tony at receiver.
Yeah, Tony, great receiver. They got a guy coming next year too. He's in Florida. I think his name's Nick Lanier. He's going to be another guy too. He's going to be another guy. So I'm confident in Miami for a long time. And I'm going to say Ohio State too.
So you got 3. Those are your 2. Those are your 2?
Yeah. I'm saying Miami and Ohio State.
I'll give Ohio State. I hate giving Big Ten that much credit, but
me too.
They've won it last 3 years.
3 years.
So I'll give Indiana, Ohio State as a preseason. That's my preseason top 2.
Okay.
But I will be biased on this. I think OU has the best defense in this
No
returning
doubt about
wise. From returning stars from last year, top to bottom, I think OU has the best defense. Now, offense, that's the question. Quarterback play, right? Everybody's wondering what it's going to look like. So
Even the running backs too,
even
because
the run- yeah, we
OU's
didn't-
used to
we
having
couldn't
a
run the
guy
ball.
at running back, but it's been a few years since we just had a guy to just tote the rock for us. So it starts with the O line, but we'll see. We got a good group coming back. So
And I think OSU is going to be good.
absolutely,
Coach Moore's
they
coming
play
in.
Oregon early too. So that's
I don't know about
definitely a
that.
test right there.
I don't know about that game.
It's gonna show us what they're about, though. You know,
They still can sneak in the playoff. They went out in the Big 12.
Yeah,
That's not a bad one-game loss, Oregon.
It's not at all.
At home was not a bad game. So yeah, so that's our college football prediction. I think OSU can win the Big 12 this year. They just got to play against the money-loaded Texas Tech Red Raiders. So I mean, they're paying everybody down there in Lubbock. So
Yeah, and then Baylor too. Just a big question mark. You never know.
Yeah, because
they can make a splash.
They got Lagway, Gavin Freeman's now on Baylor, former Oklahoma City standout. So I mean,
Oh, that's where he went. Okay.
yeah, he transferred. He was originally committed to Tennessee.
Okay.
Then he went to Baylor. It's just a better overall, fit. I think the receiver room was less loaded at Baylor than at a Tennessee. So yeah, so we'll see how that shakes out. There's a lot of Oklahoma City guys in the Big 12 this year. So got Corey Gordon at Kansas, a bunch of dudes on Oklahoma State from the Tulsa area. So it's gonna be interesting. The Big 12 is gonna be interesting. SEC is gonna be interesting. It's the NFL. I call it the NFL because it's prime time every week. Same with the Big 10. But yeah, you got who's your top two teams?
Well, the top two teams that's going to probably be in it is going to be Ohio State and Miami. That's pretty much.
You got Ohio State, Miami.
Yeah, I mean it's money and money. I mean money in Florida. I mean that's to me.
Yeah, the
Hard to
Chase
beat.
did that.
you know?
Chase, they got the Chase patch on their jersey now down there in Columbus. So I mean, yeah, that money is. I think that was a $14 million deal.
Who did they? What was that? Daniels is taking away his NIL money from LSU because they gave away his number 5 jersey.
Yeah,
that
so
was-
he
that
doesn't
was-
want
that
any
happened-
more
that was
NIL
this past 2
attached to
days.
his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he said he felt disrespected that they gave his number up, and then people are on social media saying, "Well, you're not Joe Burrow. You didn't win the Heisman and a national championship." So that's that debate going on right now.
That trophy means everything, though, because they got 2 important numbers, just 7 and 18.
Yeah, 'cause
and
of,
they rotate those every year with one of the special guys. So if you didn't bring a championship in any type of way, they're not worried about that number.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I mean, yeah, I don't know about taking the NIL away just over. That's not my. That's my. I mean, that's not. I don't have a preference like that. That's his preference. He's mad about that. So.
Yeah, but, you want somewhere to go back to, and he's definitely not going back to Arizona State for anything. So if he can, iron this situation out, then he could have a warm welcome back into Baton Rouge whenever he decides to go back.
Yeah, I think it'll be over before But that did catch me off guard though.
Because you don't see that all the
When
time.
I saw that headline, I was like, he's mad about what?
I don't. Yeah, it's hard to tell if it was like a personal decision or more so Jaden Daniels, the brand, and his team's decision.
Yeah, because you can't tell because it was a spokesperson that came out and said something. It wasn't him directly from it.
Exactly.
So I mean, we'll see though. But college football is going to be interesting. I think the SEC is I know the media rankings, preseason rankings came out and it was like Georgia won Texas won Georgia 2, and then a bunch of teams, but then OU was at 7. But I just don't think you ever know because then it's week to week. You don't know who's going to win. Kentucky could come here and beat. I hope, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. They come here and beat OU.
They got a good coach.
Yeah.
He was the OC at Oregon coming down there, and he's built the team together too. They got Nick Anderson from Oklahoma.
From OU receiver. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, the A&M comes to Norman. So this is crazy. And then when OU goes to Florida. So yeah, see, like it's just
gonna be right.
Yeah.
Hey. Every Saturday the TV's gonna be wired.
yeah. And then and then we go to Michigan, we go to Georgia.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean it's gonna be an interesting year in Norman, and I'm gonna see what Bama does though, because I think Kellen DeBoer has the biggest question mark right now if he can contain the pedigree.
Yeah. Of course, I mean, you come behind Nick Saban, that's just some big shoes. I mean, it just really is. But he gonna have to show up Well, and I mean, same thing with Venables. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on too much longer if he don't produce some things.
We all kind of said that playoff berth kind of gave him some cushion.
For sure.
It gave him a cushion, but if this year don't come out to be more cushier, I mean, it could be one of those
We got to
things.
win a playoff game. Just think about it. 5-6 appearances, and we haven't won a game yet.
If
No other
he won
team.
that game against Bama, I think he'd be fine. But it's like we were about 20-something, and he just blew that. He blew that lead.
Yeah.
Same with my guy down there in Texas, the head coach, Texas.
Sark.
If he doesn't do anything this year, I think he's on the hot seat. Because he's won one playoff game, or was it? Yeah,
I think
two?
he's only one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. He lost to Ohio State.
Who they beat at home the year they lost to Ohio State in the semifinals? Because they beat Arizona State, didn't they? Or they lost to Arizona? I can't remember.
What's that?
Because they were only in the – were they in the 12-team playoff? And they lost to – who did they lose to then?
Lost to Ohio State because they beat Arizona State in overtime.
Okay, yeah, that's crazy.
And they beat somebody at home that year.
Man, I'm trying – but you could tell how much I watched
Was it Georgia at
Texas
home?
football.
They beat Georgia at home in the playoffs. So they played Georgia at home. Or was it Georgia? I think it was Georgia. Man, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
But to your point, though, yeah, that seat is getting hotter because all these schools are about
Yeah,
championships.
then he just hired a new DC. He fired his DC and Muschamp's back now.
Muschamp is good, though.
No, yeah.
Muschamp's good.
Yeah. Texas defense was great when he was the DC with Coach Mike Brown. So, I mean, Coach Hayes, we're going to see college football is going to be – it's semi-pro now. It's not even college football anymore. It's just, got a few dudes on each team getting paid up.
Short pants on with no knee pads. I mean, hey.
It don't make no sense to me.
It don't make no sense to me, but I mean, hey, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Let me leave that alone.
No, but Coach, we appreciate you for coming on, and we enjoyed talking to you, and hope you come back on sometime soon throughout the season, sports season, and shout out to the Wood, baby.
All right, man, appreciate it.
Let them show off another one of those rings.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
But Oklahoma City, we're gonna go to break. We'll have Owen Wright of Newcastle basketball standout. He'll be on next, and we'll be right back.
Hey, sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Super Prep Radio. I'm Miles Perry. Here, Jamin Dawson at the Super Command Center here in Oklahoma City. Jamin, how was that Coach Hayes interview?
Man, I appreciate it, being able to do it because, of course, I've seen him in more professional settings calling games, so it's more so a handshake. But, getting to actually sit there and talk to him, kind of figure out who he is. And he taught us a lot, too. So I always appreciate when a guest comes and teach us a thing or two.
Most definitely taught us a thing or two. He sat down and said, "Yeah, I'm just here to give you guys some knowledge." And he gave us a lot.
He dropped it on us for sure.
He was dropping some gems. He taught me a lot about behind the scenes stuff of what's going on in Oklahoma sports that I didn't think we would hear today, from a NIL standpoint and the new rule with the shot clock and the voting process on that. And 35 seconds is a long time.
It is.
He said he wanted to stop stall ball, but if they get if they get the rebound, they get another 35 seconds. So, that can lead to stall ball. If your team can't rebound, right? So, but no, shout out to Coach Hayes, Director of Operations and Athletic Director for Millwood Public Schools. But we have a new special guest that's sitting next to me, to my right. Owen Wright, Newcastle standout 2024. Owen, you a big guy. How tall are you before we get going real quick?
6'7", 6'8", around there.
Hey, not nothing. He said he said the 6'7". No, but Owen, how are you though?
I'm good. I'm not doing too bad. Just happy coming off a state championship. So,
and for the listeners that don't know who you are, tell everybody a little about yourself.
I'm Owen from Newcastle. Play basketball. This year we won the 5A state championship. So. Trying to reload and get back to state next year.
What did you learn from that championship run? Of course, you were one of the younger players on the team, and you actually got some valuable minutes to play too. So what did you learn, on and off the court? I
just learned, Coach Brown, Coach Jesse, he's a hard coach to play for, but, he really loves us. And just, learning, through the off season is really, where we built our chemistry and everything, and just learning, going through the process is really what gets you there. He has a saying, it's proper preparation prevents poor performance, and I really believe that and think that's something that I can continue to build off of. So.
Now, when you had a big sophomore year, and then for those I don't think that know this, I did some research and some digging. I heard you fractured your foot. And it was a meaty day of freshman year.
Yeah, it was my knee.
Yeah, your knee. Yeah. Okay. How did it feel to play your sophomore year?
I felt good. Missing out on my freshman year was kind of disappointing. So I wanted to play high school basketball, but getting to it kind of helped me realize not to take the season for granted, because I only get 3 seasons now. So getting all those transfers in, it kind of made me feel like maybe I wouldn't get the ball as much, right? But, playing with those guys just, helped me grow and learn so much. And so just coming off the injury and getting to play with them my first year really helped me learn a bunch of leadership and stuff. So.
And who are some of those guys that you were able to build, a connection with, some of those seniors that left that really helped y'all achieve that championship?
TJ, KB and Ivan, and even Joey. He didn't graduate. He's going to be a senior this year. But just all of them that came over, there's all great leaders and just great guys to be around. So, and they can hoop. So.
Now, talking about your game, you can play inside and outside on the perimeter, which I think is the great thing and crazy at your size at high school, because you don't see too many 6'8", 6'7" dudes in Oklahoma that can play in the inside, right, Jamin, and then also step outside, right, and then you can handle the ball. Mm-hmm. So what do you think is your advantage at your size playing in high school basketball right now? Is it your interior game, or is it you stepping out? And you can rate too. I can see you like to pass the ball as well, but what's you think is your best advantage of your game right now?
I feel like my best advantage is being I can shoot it pretty well at my size for being 6'7". So I feel like that's probably my best advantage of my height. If I'm out on a 3-point line, I have a little guarding me or whatever. I can just shoot it over his head whenever I want to, pretty much. So I feel like that's my biggest advantage.
And just tell us a little bit about the summer. Were you playing on a circuit? Mm-hmm. What were you doing to work on your game, and what did you want to improve?
Well, we played on UA Rise with I-4. So we made it to the Final Four and lost. That was pretty tough, but we ended up getting third. But I say, like, the most thing I was working on is when I got hurt, I kind of helped myself develop a shot. But since then, like all last year on Newcastle, I kind of just like was like a spot-up shooter for him and played inside some. So this year I was kind of working more on getting my ability to get downhill and, kind of create more off the dribble instead of just being a spot-up shooter.
And how has creating that ability to get downhill, how's it going for you? Are we going to see that a lot this year at Newcastle?
Yeah, for sure. It's been good. Just getting more comfortable with it, and like if I get downhill, get to the free throw line, that opens up a lot of possibilities. So I'm getting more comfortable, and definitely gonna use that this year.
And what's something you're looking forward this year? I know you guys are coming off the state championship. I know I said to you off air, how's it feel being the 100 this year? Because I feel like 5A is loaded. Yeah. I mean, I know you saw how Carl Albert is. It's funny how Carl Albert situations. They got a new head coach. They brought some boys over from Millwood, but they really still have the whole same team from last year. Yeah. So how do you feel about 5A? Because Dell said he's. I don't know. Some people could keep them in the conversation as of right now because they just got a new head coach. But you got a bunch of schools in 5A, from Tulsa Memorial to other Midwest City. How do you guys feel? How's that feel with all this new competition arising in 5A?
I think it's exciting. We played Carl Albert twice in the playoffs last year. I feel like wanting to play them again. Like, everybody on the team wants to play them, and everybody also we lost a lot of seniors, so we have a lot of younger guys that are want to play and. Really looking forward to getting to play some tougher competition in 5A. And so I think there are some good teams, like you said, like East Central and Carl Albert and some of those teams. But we'll play anybody, so I think we'll be okay.
And what has Coach Brown been telling you guys about how to approach a new season after being so successful, winning a championship? What's just your personal mindset about coming out there, being one of the leaders, defending that?
He just says, this is a new team. We got a lot of new guys. So he really wants us to, just kind of come out and some of the younger guys step up, like me and Joey step up as leaders. It's kind of tough, especially this being only my second year playing. But kind of just taking it day by day. You can't win a championship in August, right? So just kind of leading some of those younger guys that weren't on the team as much, didn't get to play as much last year, and kind of telling them how it is, just getting them into the mood of we're not playing right now, so just go out there and work your butt off. So
you guys got a big transfer, and it's funny we're talking about transfer. I still think it's funny every time I talk about when I'm talking about high school sports. But Makai Thomas from Putnam City North, who's a great player, played with Joey Chaos during the summer on the next pro circuit for Puma. How's he been getting along with you guys? How's he adjusting to the new scenery and new environment?
Good. I think good, at least. He seems to be really enjoying it, and he's a good guy, so he's fun to be around. He can really shoot the ball too, so he should be good for us.
You're one of the leaders now, so are you more of a vocal type leader, or do you just lead by example with how you work?
I like to be vocal. TJ was really our most vocal leader last year. Him and KB, them two really led a lot vocally and by example. So losing that was tough, but I feel like I kind of have tried to really step up and be a really vocal leader and try to lead by example too. So.
And what's one thing you want to improve in going on? I know you said in the offseason you're working on ball handling, you're trying to be a better vocal leader, but besides those two things, what's another skill set you work on? I know you said you can shoot the three. Do you want to be more of a presence inside this year, or do you want to kind of expand to go both back and forth between inside and outside?
I mean, I like playing inside and outside. You know, especially in high school when there's not as many like big players, you can get a lot of easy buckets down there. So I mean, whatever, like, we really need to for the game, right? But also, I feel like defensively, last year I had to play a lot of defense because we had a great defensive team. So I didn't really guard the best player ever. But this year, we still have Joey and Makai. Them two are both great defensive players. We don't have to guard like a lot of the bigger guards and stuff. So I feel like that's another part of my game that I've really been working on and getting better at.
You just talked about two of your teammates that are good defenders, but, you know, good players. Like, how does playing with good players make you a better player?
I feel like, playing with Joey, this is my second year to play with him, but I've also played with him on, like, some tournament stuff, like, in middle school. I feel like he just is he's great with getting other players open and stuff. So I feel like playing with him just really allows you to do what you do best, and for him to just get you open and, you know, for him to create. And same with, I haven't played with Makai, but because he didn't play with us this summer. But I'm really looking forward to it because he's good at, like, a lot of stuff. So.
No, yeah, he is good at a lot of stuff, and I think it's cool that you guys all, you know, he came over to you guys from Putnam City North. I was shocked by it. I don't know if you were shocked by it, but you probably knew before the rest of us. He's like, let's keep it on the wraps, but yeah, I knew. Yeah. But I was shocked. You know, I think that was a big move in this offseason. There's been a lot of big moves, as you probably know, within 6A and 5A, and especially Putnam City North, right? But what do you think of all this movement? You know, did you expect this? I mean, a year ago when you were
no. Before I got to play, when I was a freshman, like, I didn't even know that we were gonna get any of those players until almost when school started, or when school ended. And it kind of shocked me how much players move around in, like, high school now, especially in this last, like, year. Yeah. And how much it's changed. So that kind of was crazy to me.
Because last year's team, a lot of those dudes came in last year, right?
Yeah.
With, you know, Ivan, Joey, and Colton, right? And from, you know, Southmore, right? And Westmore. You know, so what was that like? You know, all those dudes coming in like, oh, dang, where'd you guys come from?
I mean, it was cool. During the summer, who was hurt? I think Ivan was hurt during the summer for a little bit, so we didn't get to play a lot. But kind of seeing those guys, I hadn't really, like, played with any of them before or seen them play. So it was kind of new for me. I didn't know Southmore had all that. So just kind of coming in and seeing that, and then seeing like what high school basketball is like, it was really cool. So.
Yeah, and not gonna lie, when I found out all those players went to Newcastle, Jamin and Owen, I was shocked. I was like, dang, how they all? You know, and there's the rules you can transfer anywhere you want one time out of your district. So I knew that was in play, but I didn't expect all of them to go to one spot.
Especially their senior year too.
Yeah, I mean, it was worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
It was worth it. It was worth it. And Colton hitting that shot was crazy. Mm-hmm. What was going through your mind during that game winning in the 5A state championship game?
Dude, I mean, it was like this is one of the best moments of my life. It was crazy just sitting there. Going to overtime, Ivan almost hit the shot to win it in regular time. It was a lob or something. And then going into overtime, they do that. KB comes down and hits the three. Everybody starts going crazy and trying to run onto the court. But there's still like 15 seconds left. And then they come down and TJ gets that big block. And it was like, once the buzzer hit, it's like everybody starts running. It was like so fun and just exciting to experience that with them.
You know what I just realized about the team, Jamin?
What's that?
They had a lot of lob threats on the court. Like I just remembered because, you know, TJ, Ivan, there was a lot of lobs being thrown in that game, and I was like, there's a lot of dunking going on in this game. And how was that play? You know, and he had two good point guards to get you guys the ball, and Colton and Joey the lobs. How was that playing in that style of basketball?
It was fun, dude. We had a lot of games. We got like 3 or 4 dunks, especially TJ. and got like, so many lobs last year. And so, I mean, anytime we were in fast break, it felt like we were going to get a dunk. And so it was just fun to be able to experience that and to be able to get lobs thrown at you like constantly. So
we're going to see that this year?
Yeah, for sure.
And then just, take us back to the championship game. Like, the gym was super packed for that championship game. Like, how did that feel stepping out in warm-ups and getting the game started, just playing in that environment with so many people watching?
It was really cool. I mean, I felt like that was the most people I've ever played in front of for sure, especially in the new gym, seeing everybody packed there. It felt really cool. In warm-ups, I was a little nervous for sure. But, I mean, getting to I think I got like the first layup of the game or something to transition, man. I was so nervous that I was going to miss. I was like, I can't miss in front of all these people. But ended up making it and, kind of settling down and just kind of taking in the whole moment.
I'll kind of go back to your missing your freshman year, and you said you got to develop your jump shot during that time. And I also want to ask you, what mentality did you grow from that? I know it made you mentally stronger, right? Going through that type of adversity. I know as a freshman, like, dang, I want to, play. But how did you grow from that and mental-wise through that time period?
I mean, it was hard, especially, media day. It was kind of a couple weeks before the season started. So it was hard. It put me out for a year. And before that, I really played like the 5 most of the time. So during that time, I worked with Coach Pogai, and just really, like, all I could do, I couldn't move, so all I did was just sit there, stand there, and shoot the whole time. And so, just kind of, my thought was, I mean, if I can't do anything except for shoot, I'm just going to shoot a lot, and hopefully that'll get better, right? And it did. So it's kind of made me think, I can't take all this time that I have, like, for granted, so I always have to keep working and just value my time here in high school.
So when you're on the court and you see a smaller defender in front of you, we just talked about how versatile your game is. Like, what's your mindset, and how would you attack a shorter defender in front of you?
I mean, if they're playing up on me, then, I can take them off the dribble. I mean, they might be a little bit faster than me because they're shorter. But if they're playing back, I mean, just shoot it. But if they are playing up and I can't get the shot off because they're playing so tight, just kind of working and trying to use my body to get downhill on them and maybe pull up like or mid-range or get all the way to the rack. So.
No, yeah, I think what makes him dangerous is he can back you down off the dribble. And I know he has a point when he's saying the defender, lower man wins and advantages like that, but he knows how to use his body. When I watch him on film and watch him play in person. So, I also want to ask this: do you think you're going to add that little midi fadeaway like you see a lot of time?
Yeah, but also he's just like my favorite player.
Yeah.
So I watched a lot of him. Obviously I watch a lot of Shea. So that's where I get I shot a lot of mid-range from Shea. And like the skill set that KD has, with his, him being able to use his size to really shoot over the top of anybody or get to the rim if he wants. Kind of watching those guys and try to model after that.
I can see the KD. And you did shoot a lot of mid-range this summer, I-4 on the UA Rice. When I watched you like kind of that free throw little, yeah. So did you like doing? How'd that feel? Was it like, did it open up other areas of your game for you?
Yeah, especially because shooting the mid-range, if I get in there and kind of stop and shoot, eventually they'll start kind of playing me when we're up and expecting that. So that opens up getting downhill a lot easier too.
Yeah, you have a nice up fake. I saw that on film. So you go from the top of for the free throw line, he would do it, which is more dangerous for his size. He might dunk on you. So I mean, if you're I'm being serious, you might rise up and get dunked on. So I would not be in that position. But Owen, your game is. I see a lot of Shea, and I can see the KD, that's dope. That's dope. You get.
And who's kind of nurtured your game? Like, who's helped you make those steps and just continue to grow into the player you are now?
I worked a lot with Coach Pogai, also Pogai. He's been my coach for a long time, since like 7th grade, and he still runs I-4. So I work a lot with him, and he's kind of helped me through a lot of things. And then like Coach Brown and Coach E, our assistant coach at Newcastle, they've helped me a lot. And also been working with Bryant Van. He played at OU.
OU legend, right there.
He's been really good for me. Kind of helped me with my skill set, especially defensively. He said some stuff that has really helped me change my perspective on some things. So.
And for those that don't know, Coach Pogai is Tyson Pogai's dad, like OSU committed sophomore, So how does that work with Coach Pogai? I mean, Tyson can shoot, so I'm not surprised you can shoot. So I see the translation there. But how's it playing for his program and being coached by him growing up?
It's good. It's good. He really loves the guys that he coaches, and he always wants the best for us. So, I get up there early and work with him a lot. He's really the one who helped me develop my shot, which makes sense from Tyson. And so it's kind of funny, him being quarterback at OSU, and then he helps all these guys with like basketball. But I'm really thankful for him.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought, right? A quarterback is a great shooting coach and a skills coach, right? It's funny how that translates. I mean, it doesn't really translate, but it's funny how that works out. And Owen, every time we have someone on the show, we always ask them this: who are you looking forward to play this year? I know you named all those schools, but who's the one team right now for sure locked down their schedule that you guys should? The districts just came out for 5, and we read those off before you came here earlier on the show. And is it Millwood City in their district?
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And Coach Tor, shout out to Coach Tor Noel over there. But have you seen your schedule yet?
No.
So
I've seen the
that
districts.
Means I'll ask you that another time when I see that.
Okay.
But in your district, who are you looking to play? I mean, I know Millwood City's probably most definitely on there, but
I'm looking forward to play Classen SAS.
Okay.
We lost 2 games last year, Del City and Classen, and we almost lost to Classen again. Ended up beating by 2. So they were really tough for us last year, and I'm looking forward to playing them again.
And why were they tough for you guys? Was it like you sleeper game? You guys
kind of, yeah. We played them 3 times. We played them in a Lawton tournament and beat them. It was a low scoring game. It was like 40-something to 30-something, and they beat us at home. And we were just kind of overlooking them on the schedule, getting ready. I can't remember who we played. Someone else a couple days after that. So yeah, kind of overlooking them, and they came up and just popped us. And then also. We played them the last game of the season before playoffs, and if we didn't win that game, we were gonna be second not in the rankings, but in district
seeding.
In seeding. And they almost got us, but we were down 10 going into the 4th or something. We ended up coming back and winning. So it was kind of a lot of
almost kryptonite.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. So you want to establish that's not gonna happen this year. Is what it sounds like. Yeah, I got you. Hey, we got 2 more questions for you, and we're gonna let you go. Who motivates you?
Who motivates me?
And who's your why? I know you've been through some adversity already early in your young career, but what motivates you?
I mean, honestly, really, I think God has put these skills in my hand for a reason. So whatever stage I'm on, I want to represent him first and foremost. And also my dad, he didn't have the easiest childhood growing up. He's provided a lot for our family, so I just want to give back to him and give everything I got for him. So.
Well, Owen, I love what you said there. And Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, he's next up. That's why he's on the show, because he's literally, I believe that, and you guys should tune in Newcastle basketball this upcoming season if you guys get a chance, because he's the real deal. And Owen, good luck this season. I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna be at a few games, and we gotta get you some Super Prep merch. Some more is on the way. But good luck this season.
Thank you.
Oklahoma City.
Best of luck to you, bro.
Oh, my fault, Jamie.
No, you good.
Get your my fault. I cut
I'm
you
saying
off.
best of luck to you, bro. You know, you got to defend it now. Like he said, you're the 100. So looking forward to that. Of course, you being the leader, you know. But just more excited to see you on the court, bro. Doing your thing, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got a lot of people. You got new people in 5A coming for the vote.
Yeah.
You know, them Titans over there. They want it bad.
Definitely.
East Central wants it bad if they're in T-Tap.
Teaming up over there.
So,
Yeah, that's something
you
to
got
see.
teams teaming up to come get the gold ball. I think it's the craziest thing ever. But we'll talk about another time on another when basketball season comes. But Owen, thank you for coming on. Oklahoma City, the Super Radio. You know, we'll be back next week. Jamin Dawson, I'm Miles Perry. I'm out. Peace.
Hey sports fans, get ready to step into the world of championships with Super Prep Live, hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or a broken bone, at the SSM Health Bone and Joint Injury Clinic at 13401 Northwestern.
Hosted by Miles Perry, only on OKC Sports Radio 105.3 FM. Dive deep into the lives of high school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries.
High school and college athletes with exclusive interviews and insight that reveals what makes them great. Follow Super Prep across all social networks to never miss a moment. It's Super Prep Live with Miles Perry. Tune in, get inspired, and stay connected. Visit OKCSportsRadio.com.
Injuries don't wait. For business hours, now you can be seen 24/7 for sports injuries. Whether you have a sprain or